I'm not gonna tell my story about the NBA player that was in my DMs and his brother too, but I will tell you guys about this other ape that I met from a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine. This was sometime back in the day. This was like 2017. I got invited to, his name was hold on, these people are nosy. Yeah, as I was saying, this neighbor, he invited me to this retired NBA player. His name was Donald Foyle. It was this big ape, big gorilla. But anyway, yeah, I ended up throwing up in his pool, and I don't feel bad for it because he was acting like he was like one of those guys that were acting funny because like he was buying food, and I had went like to go eat, and he like I could just feel like he was like stingy, like he didn't want, he wanted like first dibs basically. You know how those gorillas act. I got too much lip gloss on. But yeah, he wanted like first dibs or whatever. And yeah, I ended up throwing up um, in his backyard because it was like in his man cave. That's where we were at. His outside. We weren't like, in his house. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I be talking about. Like, um, even these NBA players, like they're like gorillas, and he was even twerking. Okay, yes, he was like twerking with his ass, um, which was another thing. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, and the guy, my neighbor, he even said like he was weird. Little boy, stop talking to me, okay? I'm a grown ass woman. Stop, don't even talk to me. Mind your business. This little boy's like, are you making it a TikTok? Um, but yeah. So my neighbor, he even, so yeah, even my neighbor, he said is, this, he's Asian, and I think he's Hispanic and Asian, but he looks mostly Asian, and he was even saying like this dude, like this ape, he was like calling him like all the time. He was like, dude, I'm working. Like, why are you calling me like that? I have to work. And yeah, so that kind of like turned me off with NBA players. Like, you can get more from like a working guy than you can some of these ball players. And yeah, I ended up throwing up in his pool. Adana Foyle, you're ape. You're probably part of the LBG community, but you couldn't get anybody that was willing, because I wouldn't even sleep with him if he had $1 million. He'd have to give me more than that. But yeah, he had a baby by some, of course, non-black woman, and he's Jamaican. He's an ape, but of course he wanted, he didn't want his kid to come out looking like an ape, so he got with, somebody non-black, which is okay, because I understand. I wouldn't want, my kid to look like an ape if I was black, if I was, dark-skinned. But yeah. So, yeah, ladies, be careful out here. These guys are nasty. Strap up, a lot of them passing on diseases, HIV. Nobody wants that. So yeah, start looking outside your race. Hispanic dudes, they're easy to get along with. I'm not really into them either, but yeah, you might get treated better, my black women, with the Hispanic guys. So, yep.